All right, hello everybody. How's it going? Been a while, huh? I may or may not have completely forgotten how to stream or how to do anything technical in the last week or so. So if something's not working, let me know. Haven't been able to sleep. Insomnia, second wind kick. Oh yeah, I go through that shit all the time too, Silent. Brothers in misery, you and me. Yeah, sometimes I do have to stay up for, 24 hours or more to try to reset my clock. I sometimes feel like I just have like longer cycles than the normal person, how like people are like wired up to last a 24-hour day-night cycle. I feel like maybe I was wired up for like a 30-day-night cycle, 30-hour day-night cycle. Something like that, like Men in Black. That was hilarious. It's like you'll either adapt to it in a couple weeks, or you'll have a psychotic episode. All right, who do we got? We have Magus. We have Silent Echo. We have Arif Hossein. Welcome. Who else? I think I saw your boy Nobody pop in. I did. And Vicar is here. Welcome. Hey, glad to see all you guys. I feel the same way. I feel like I'm wired for a longer day-night. Yeah, that could just come down to screen time. I work on a computer screen all day, and then when I'm winding down and doing something for fun, it's usually also on a computer screen, right? It's just all that blue light hitting you in the face all the time. That and just, stress. It happens to all of us. All right, I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a couple weeks. Glad to see all the regulars here. That's good. Also on a computer all day and stuff. Yeah, I think most of us are in this day and age. All right, let's get into the news. Well, gaming news anyway. Mostly just new games that have been announced. I think Silent actually posted this in the Discord. Look in the description below if you're not part of the Discord and you want to be part of that conversation over there. Go ahead and click on that link. It's open, free to join. You do have to prove that you're not a bot. But once you do that, you can post your builds, discuss mine, just talk about other games or what you're watching, things like that, So this is Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, and I'm not sure who makes this. Let's see. It's been in early access for quite a while. Its 0.9 patch went out, so this is kind of like in its final form. They probably have some bug fixes and stuff to do on this, but this looks like if some game developers wanted to make a game and they wanted all of the gameplay systems lifted and shifted directly from Skyrim. It looks like all the NPCs have their own schedules, all their own AI and stuff. It looks like the looting system is the same, but really, and of course they got fishing. They probably do it better than Skyrim. But it's the combat that really looks the same. You got the same dual hand equip system where you can have magic in one hand, a weapon in the other, like that, bows and arrows, archery, sword and board, two-handed weapons, whatever you want to do, and the combat actually does look a lot like Skyrim, and in the cities and the open world and stuff looks pretty similar too, but it looks like the dungeon dives are more like linear corridor based, which actually is also like Skyrim. But the character models look pretty sick. I like the armors and the weapons and everything. So this is one to keep your eyes on. Let's take a look on Steam, see how it's doing in terms of user reviews. I'm just gonna type in Taint and see if it comes up. Oh yeah, look at that. First one. Very positive, so that's encouraging. Not a whole lot of really recent reviews. I gotta turn the sound off on this. But all reviews sitting at 85%. Pretty good. Usually with indie games like this, of this like scale and trying to do everything that Skyrim does, you get a lot of wonk, you get a lot of jank. So it's good to see that this is being positively received. Very cool. Awaken Realms is the studio. Gotcha. Have they done anything else? This is kind of their big one. Looks like they got some pixel art stuff. Maybe a roguelike. Yeah, some arcadey stuff, maybe some turn-based like card games and stuff, but this looks like their first foray into 3D. Well, it's not AAA because of the price on it. It's probably lesser scope than something like Skyrim or a BGS game, but yeah, so you're probably not going to get 100 hours out of this, but still. Looks good for their kind of first foray. This is kind of like, what was it? The folks who did Returnal. They did a bunch of arcadey stuff for a while, and then they really dipped their toe in strong with a 3D AAA game and kind of knocked it out of the park. Hopefully they'll do the same here. People playing a game called Schedule 1. Oh, okay, that's their card-based stuff. Yeah, okay. Tainted Grail is based off the lore of the Dragon Eclipse, this guy here. Schedule 1. That sounds familiar. Why do I recognize that name? Oh yeah, this was on like the top sellers list for a while, I think. Overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, this one's going gangbusters. This to me looks like a stream game. Like you would stream this with like a couple friends on Twitch or something like that. What even is this? From small-time dope pusher to kingpin, manufacture and distribute a range of drugs. Oh, okay, so this is like a new take on the old drug dealer simulation formula. Those games were always very popular. People enjoy them. Man, this looks wacky. Heard gangbangers. Did I say gangbangers? It's selling like gangbangers? Gangbusters is what I meant. The second word means kind of the same thing, but together means very different things. Tainted Grail was a deck builder before? Cool. If your grill is tainted, get rid of it. Unless you're talking about your teeth, then probably need to see somebody. Want to run? Oh, a Skyrim D&D game. Currently making my own system from scratch based on the game mechanics of Oblivion and Morrowind. That sounds fun. Gangbangers technically fits the game. Yes, it does. Okay. So yeah, that looks interesting. Let's see. It's not completely released yet. This Tainted Grail isn't, but yeah. What was that? $44 will get you into early access. Looks like fun. If you pick it up, stop by the Discord, let me know how it goes. Okay, so another one. FromSoft's new game was announced in the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement. What do you call this? Their promotional stream that they did or whatever. This one's called The Duskbloods. It's very Bloodborne-esque with the old Victorian stuff. It's very very gothic Victorian stuff. Very dark. Of course, you have all the obfuscated storytelling of any FromSoft game. Once we get into gameplay here and level design, yeah, so a lot more steampunk than maybe something like Bloodborne, but definitely heavily influenced by Bloodborne, it seems like, right? Almost a lot of Liza P influence on this too. Yeah, so Silent is hitting on a little bit of the controversy on this game. So FromSoft, the next game that comes out is Night Rain, right? And that is a multiplayer only game. This one doesn't say anything in the teaser here, but if you go to the Japanese website and do a Google Translate on it, it does say PvPvE on it. We don't know, I mean, because technically even Elden Ring is PvPvE. It's just to what degree, to what scale are they doing? Are they requiring multiplayer for this? Or is it just going to be like a smaller subset of the online features like Elden Ring or any of the Dark Souls games. I think we still have yet to see. I think Miyazaki came out and he said, don't worry, we're kind of obsessed with the multiplayer thing right now, but we will be going back to the single player stuff. This is not a direct Bloodborne sequel as far as anybody can tell. But yeah, I think a lot of people were saying, yeah, Sony was dragging their feet on letting them make a Bloodborne 2, so they went and got Nintendo to fund the actual Bloodborne 2. I don't think that's it. Like we were talking about, it seems like the multiplayer component might actually be bigger than their other games, which of course has people worried that they're going to be focused on multiplayer now. If this is a multiplayer only game, I'm kind of not interested. Just the fact that it's a FromSoft game and kind of a Souls-like perks your ears up a little bit, but between Night Rain and this one, I'm not big on multiplayer games like this. And it's a Switch exclusive as well. So yeah, Switch 2 coming out soon, kind of up in the air at the moment. You know, when pre-orders go live or when this is going to ship. They thought they knew, but now they don't. So we'll see how that goes. But you know what this means, the real news for all of us here. It's probably going to be a re-release of Skyrim, right? There's going to be another version of Skyrim that I'm going to buy. Kind of an open world Mario Kart. Yeah, kind of like a Forza Horizons, but Mario Kart themed, which is cool. I'm down for that. Mario Kart's always good. Elden Ring, the Tarnished Edition, is coming to the Switch as well. Yeah, it's kind of like a repack of all their stuff. I think that includes the expansion as well, doesn't it? Shadow of the Erd Tree. Yeah, nobody. I wish I had time to do anything with any kind of D&D campaign. It's not happening for me. I have no time to even do my own stuff. I barely have time to stream on the weekends these days, but making it happen today. All right, so those were the games that caught my eye. Let's move on to mods now. How about that? So the first one, this is 2 weeks worth of mods too, by the way. So if you have any mods you want to show off, let me know. There's a good chance that I might have it already on my list, but we'll see. So the first one that caught my eye, I think it was last week, is Rune Master Magic. This is a release by Kitty Tail. A lot of people like his mods quite a bit. They're usually very high quality. This one has a kind of a Spellblade quality to it. Spellblade was a mod that came out a while back that it introduced a new gameplay system where you would, if you had a sword in one hand and a spell in the other, it would, instead of like just casting the spell and then having an enchanted blade in your right hand and they're both kind of separate, there was like a power or something that allowed you to imbue the spell in your left hand on the sword in your right hand, and then the sword would have like unique special effects based on what spell you use to imbue it with. It was really awesome. I'm not sure about the compatibility of it with like other spell mods and things like that, but this has vibes of that. Also in Odin, I believe you have like the flame strike command and stuff like that, where you can imbue your power attacks and other strikes with certain elemental powers, but those are dedicated spells. This seems more like that. So you have a spell that'll imbue your blade with certain abilities. See, it looks awesome, I gotta say. So she hit the Death Hound there with that one. Big fiery explosion, and then a pillar of holy light that came down to really take him out. Anyway, this looks really cool. I have not integrated any of Kitty Tail's stuff into my game yet, but I do kind of want to do a build series based on some of those spell packs. It's just, I have way too many build ideas in my head and not nearly enough time to implement them all. Visual pollution, that's kind of, I kind of have the same complaint about it sometimes. It's always screen filling. There's no lack of like spectacle with these spells, but it is very screen filling. big, bombastic, very high quality though. There are mods that you can use in Skyrim that will allow you to cast spells while you're holding a sword and shield, like Oblivion. I would be shocked if there aren't. Actually, I think some of the move sets that you can get, I might be wrong, like with MCO or whatever the newer combat overhaul is that allows you to add in move sets for certain weapon combinations and stuff, might be able to do that. I'm pretty sure it's possible. There are things like, I don't remember what the perk was called. There's a perk in Ordinator in the, it's either alteration or enchanting. I think it's alteration that allows you to convert a spell into a once per day power, and then you can cast the spell with either a two-handed weapon or a sword and board, or if you have even archery at that point. But you can only do it once a day, unless you have the Voice of Rage and Ruin perk from the two-handed skill tree, and then it's just kind of a random shot whether or not it casts. The Odin spells aren't applying temporary enchantments to your weapons. They give the character a magic effect that will activate on strike, so there won't be any enchant override glitches. Yeah, that's true. And I think the Triumvirate, some of the Triumvirate stuff works the same way. It's actually technically a cloak spell is how he implements that. So a lot of that stuff will overwrite other cloak spells that you have. I'm thinking of the Cleric one specifically. I think Shaman has one too, where it enchants, he says it enchants your power attacks, but like Arif said, it's not technically an enchantment. Like the Cleric one, if you do a power attack with the spell active, it has like a fire and or shock effect on it. And yeah, that's it has a cloak spell that actually affects the enemy, and then when you hit it with a power attack, that's when it goes boom. That's when it triggers. So you still do get to keep your enchantment intact on that one. Underwater combat. I thought that said underwear combat at the moment. I was like, I think that's a vanilla feature, dude. All right, let's take a look at this one. Are you talking about the Spellblade perk? No, that's different. There's a mod called Spellblade, and there are a few different mods on Nexus called Spellblade, but yeah, this one came out several years ago, and it never really took off, but it was an interesting... Oh, Spellblade perk. No, Spellblade's different. Spellblade is another one where if you do a power attack, it will trigger a spell. And that does actually work with two-handed weapons and sword and board as well. So that is another way to trigger spells. But you do have to do a power attack. You can't kind of cast them. I'm hearing that new Oblivion remake is potentially a fake because nobody has come out and spoken for or against it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like where there's smoke, there's usually some fire, depending on like how much smoke, and there might be a little fire or a lot of fire. If there's a little bit of smoke, there might be no fire at all. But there is a lot of smoke on this Oblivion remake, right? It's been making the hype rounds and the rumor mill several times in the last year or so. And I think that was also on the official leaked lineup from Microsoft when they were doing the Activision Blizzard merger. So I think it does exist. I'm not sure if it got canceled, if it's still coming out, or if it's been delayed or what. But I think it did exist at some point in some form. The smoke and the mirrors. It could be smoke and mirrors. This is Bethesda that we're talking about. All right, DMTs, underwater combat, and jump attacks. Okay, so I do already have a jump attack mod that I do like, but if this does underwater and Nemesis is a mod I'm unfamiliar with, that's that's not encouraging. Let's see. But this mod and that mod don't like each other and won't work together. Sorry. Oh, is this not... This might not be the Nemesis. Oh, yeah, it is. This just doesn't work with the Nemesis? Getting Morrowind remake updates every now and then? Yeah, I mean... I hope this Oblivion remake is real, because I want to play it, and I want to play Sky Oblivion. Yeah, same. Morrowind remake updates every now and then. Yeah, haven't heard as many about that, but if you wanted to remake a game, I feel like Morrowind is more, you know, ripe for it. Go all the way back to Arena if you're gonna do that, though, right? It'll work with Nemesis? Okay. Compatibility version works fine with TK Dodge. All right, that's good. So it looks like you gotta download a separate file if you're using the TK Dodge one. Yeah, compatibility version here. Wish they had videos showing it, but underwater combat is huge, especially if you're gonna play an Argonian character that's gonna spend a lot of time under the water. It just doesn't make much sense for you to be an Argonian and be completely defenseless against like a slaughterfish or something. Gotta remember Nemesis uses a blank FNIS ESP plugin. Yeah. So it should be compatible with everything. I have heard, I haven't run into anything yet, but I have heard that people have had issues with certain mods not working with Nemesis. And this guy claims that this one doesn't either. But this mod and that mod don't like each other and won't work together. I don't know. Maybe he's just saying that to cover his ass, even though it does work just fine. I don't know. I'm probably gonna... I got a lot of changes planned for my next modding profile. Just kind of paring a lot of things down, adding some things in, replacing some things that are kind of big lifts. So I'm not going to put this one in just yet, but it does... this does sound promising. All right. So that was Rune Master. I got a couple more here. Leets mods. What am I looking at here? Why did I put this on here? I think Leet had a new overhaul at some point. I think maybe I was just looking for stuff to showcase. Anyway, looks like some overhauls of some lesser used areas, some things that just needed to be fleshed out here and there, villages, old like shacks and stuff that get fleshed out and redone and everything. Some of these look pretty cool. Let me see. This one was just done 7 days ago. It's a starter home in Helgen. Yeah, interesting. I don't know why I put this on my list, but I did. There you go. Have fun. All right, animation motion fix. Okay, so this one probably only useful for people who use combat overhauls like MCO and stuff with move sets and things like that. If you're playing vanilla or vanilla-centric combat like I am with Wildcat and IRIM overhauls and things like that, you're probably not going to need an issue. You're probably not going to have an issue with it. But basically, in certain directional attacks and things like that, your character will get stuck in place. And because of the way that the vanilla systems work, you probably just will never even notice it. But with MCO and the different movesets and stuff that you have with like target lock-ons and stuff with the newer combat overhauls, it becomes immediately apparent when you get stuck in some of these animations. Like this one here, you're getting stuck in one spot. And this one here, he's actually advancing forward throughout the moveset. Same with this one, he's barely moving. Oh, this could be because of the enemy. The enemy gets rooted in place while the character is moving forward, and in this one, the character is actually able to move the NPC instead of the other way around. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't make any difference to me because I use mostly the vanilla combat system with some an IRIM tweaks. But yeah, if you're using MCO and equip sets and everything, and getting stuck in your animations, and that's probably gonna fix it for you. Yeah, silent. A lot of those new equip sets, they're very FromSoft inspired, so they'll just lift and shift the move sets right out of those Souls games. Oh, I'll take a look at that too, Magus. Well, can't really stay and watch. I have a little pimple or something under the corner. Ugh. All right, take it easy, Arif. Hope you get that taken care of. Okay, stealth detection fixes. This is probably something that some people have been waiting for a while for. So I've had issues with this too. You have like a stealth kill or something like that, and then all of a sudden somebody in another room gets alerted, even though you've used a dagger, which should be completely silent. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does sometimes happen. So here's a video. This will be a little more illustrative. This happens a lot with magic too, with a silent casting perk. Yeah, so that was a dagger. That should have been completely silent, but it woke everybody else up in the room. Now it don't. I think this is just an SKSE script or just a plugin. Either way, it shouldn't count against your mod load order. Oh, this is the wrong one. Where am I going? Yeah, I don't think this will count against your mod counts. Could be wrong on this. Thought it was just an SKSE, either script or plugin. It does have an MCM on it though, so you can kind of tweak it however you'd like. I guess I could peek at the contents of this. Yeah, lots of scripts, MCN configs. There is an ESP here. This might be one of the optional settings that you may not need the ESP for this one. But yeah, there is a plugin on it. Probably ESL enabled, I would guess. Doesn't say anything about ESL, but whatever. If you're playing a Nightblade or an assassin character or something, this might be from Flaccid. I've never had that issue before. I've had it before. It's rare though. It seems very intermittent. I get issues sometimes like that with dagger kills. Yeah. That could be, Magus, the enemy making the noise on the death. Yeah, that could be it. But if you're playing a completely pure stealth character that is not good in combat, that kind of kills your whole game, doesn't it? Okay, now before I forget, I want to take a look at the one that Magus was showing me here. I think I saw a Wild Joe appear, or a Panicked Monk. Wild Joe, same guy. How's it going, man? Hope you're doing okay. Mangoose. You misspelled your name on this, Magus. I'm kidding. I'm just acting stupid because I thought it was funny. Okay, what does this do? Simply Obsidian Weathers SSE. Okay, so is this a new... Let me get some context on this here. And the E and B for it too looks solid. Did some testing with it as well. And it's okay. So I'm using the older Obsidian with Rudy E and B. You're a dick. Like it's silent casting in Magic. Once the spell actually hits, alerts because there is the explosion that makes noise, not the spell. Yeah, kind of like with bows and arrows, where the bow itself is silent unless it's bugged, like the Bow of Shadows, but where the arrow hits itself does make noise. Fully replaces Obsidian Weathers officially, making it obsolete. The E and B is in the requirements part. Oh, okay. Hey, look at that. Simply Obsidian. It looks nice. It does look really nice. I like the modded effect on, this is probably the Dawnfang, Duskfang, Dongfang, I think. Dongfang? Dawnfang sword here, but it has like an animated enchantment on it. It looks really cool. And the rain that's not completely blinding, I like that. It does the gold hues really well at like sunset or sunrise in the rift. Looks really cool. Of course, you got your screen space reflections here. An E and B staple. North Girl armor. Super tight pants. Gotta love it. Oh, the fogs actually look great on the lake. That's fantastic. Yeah, the one from the CC mod, yep. That detection mod is technically a cheat. Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that. Supreme Obsidian Weathers mod at the moment. Well, it doesn't make her look any younger. It has its limits, I suppose. Yeah, this looks great. I really like the fog effects on this. That looks great. In my experience from the, you know, the older weather mods that I used, it was hard for them to get fog to look good without being just completely overwhelming and blinding. Yeah, looks good. I don't know if I'm going to be switching anytime soon. I don't. Is this this probably requires newer E and B binaries, which might also require an upgrade to my EXE, which I'm still on 1597. I'm refusing to update until I run into something that I need it for. So we'll see how long that takes. All right. Did I have any more? I thought maybe I had some more here. Stealth detection, one more. Armor Umbrage here. This one was another thiefy set that had caught my eye. This would look great on Collects Many Things, I think. It is HDT physics enabled. The binaries have nothing to do with the game's EXE for ENB. Okay. I've had crashes in the past trying to update ENB. And it just completely wiped me out, so I'm very hesitant to do that. Maybe I'll try it out when I have a weekend free one of these days. Anyway, this one doesn't look overdone. Not a whole lot of tchotchkes are on it. It's very clean looking. The hood looks kind of... He's got kind of a Darth helmet. Or dark helmet thing going on here. Rick Moranis from Spaceballs. You know, if you know, you know. If you're born in a certain time. But I do like the oversized hood because it does actually do what it's supposed to do and hide your face a little better. The rest of the armor pieces look really clean. The materials look good as well. They only show female models on this, but it does say that it works with males as well. They just don't seem to have a... actually, that might... Can't tell because of lack of boobs. That might be a male model, though, a skinny one. And it does look like it has a hood in the down position variant, which is also cool. Yeah, kind of cool. I like this one. I might add it on in a later profile. This is Mr. Coffee. Spaceballs is great. Yeah, you know it. You have to delete your ENB cache folder. That's probably the issue that I was having. What's the best patch for Skyrim? That's kind of a wide net. I'm not sure. Patch can mean a lot of different things. Like an official DLC drop from BGS? Or are you talking about like bug fixes? We got jammed. Raspberry. Nice. Like game patch that they've come out with throughout time. For Skyrim itself. Oh, let's see. Man, I don't know. It's hard to kind of lump that. It's hard to not lump that in with DLC because they did add a lot to the game through official DLC. Oh, if you're talking about game version, 1597 is the one that I am using now because that was kind of like the go-to standard for a long time. That was before they went all in on their creation club content where they were upgrading EXEs like every other week and breaking everybody's mod because they weren't setting their game to not update. So everybody settled on 1597 for a long time. Now they're on like 16134 something like that. I don't know. Yeah, 161170 is by far the best. Yeah. So if you download like a Wabbajack or something, there's a good chance that it's just going to update your game for you, and you can drag and drop. So what I do is I have like there are ways to keep Steam out of your game install folder. You can set it to update only when you launch it, and then if you launch it through SKSE, Steam doesn't ever know you're actually launching the game, so it won't update it. If, however, you accidentally launch it directly, which does happen, sometimes you do an MO2 update or something like that, and your play button gets jacked, and it'll run the game. Then all of a sudden you update, then the game will update for you. There's nothing you can do about it. But you can actually set the folder that it updates for, or there's like a file. There's an update file or something that it will check, and then it will change out if it finds that you have a lesser version than what's out. So you can actually lock that down with the permissions so that it's read only, and then Steam won't be able to change that, and it'll block it from being able to download updates. I also keep a backup of my Skyrim folder with the EXE and stuff in it, so that if it does end up updating, I just drag and drop all my EXEs back into it. All mods updated for 1611. Yeah, the modding community has been better about keeping up with it than they were in the past. They kind of got it down to a process now where it's kind of easy. Yeah, USSEP, because yeah, they'll fix bugs, but over the course of fixing the bugs, they also cause new bugs. And they obviously don't have the A-team, the A-team over at BGS working on their Skyrim stuff, or specifically their Fallout 4 stuff. Fallout 4 is in a much worse shape than Skyrim is at the moment, even with all the problems. So yeah, being able to manage your version numbers and stuff is important for modding your game. A lot of mods not fully made for. Well, yeah, because there's such a small user base over there. Haven't played Fallout 4. Yeah, I played that for like hundreds of hours, and I really loved it, but it didn't stick for me like Skyrim does. GOG doesn't make you do that, and I haven't ever found a mod incompatible with GOG. Oh yeah, that's what Magus was saying. There are several mods that don't match up to that version number, because they do use a specific version number for GOG and another one for Steam. And not everything is compatible with the GOG one. Yeah, you can downgrade with Steam as well. It's just you have to go through the Steam Depot and the command line utility from the Steam. I don't even remember how to do it because just my manual backups tend to work. But there are command line utilities that you can launch from Steam that allow you into the Steam Depot, and you can actually download older versions of any game that you have, even Skyrim. So that is an option that they give you. They kind of hide it a little bit. I'm like, what's an FO4? Everyone in Gamer Poets keeps saying help. Yeah, and even just the crashing isn't the big part of it. It's like ever since they did that big anniversary update, they just huge performance issues that they haven't bothered to go back and fix. It's been a mess. I'm actually looking forward to completing my current series so that I can nuke the game and do a fresh install and rebuild it. I'm not looking forward to doing that. I don't want to have to do that. At some point, I will want to do that. But today is not that day. I just want to play Skyrim. Speaking of playing Skyrim, let's get this game booted up here. Let's get in it. At this point, it feels like more work to avoid updating than just rolling with it. Yeah, but you still don't want to update every time the game updates, right? Once you download your game and you got your mods working, cut that off right there, because BGS will continue to put out updates. And there have been some notes in the release notes that they put out with each one of these updates now and then that say that they've removed the dependency of the Skyrim EXE version for some things, and every time they say that, I get hopeful that okay, we're not gonna need to like fiddle around with downgrading our EXE platform and anything anymore, because all their updates don't need the EXE, so they're not updating the EXE along with all their Creation Club stuff. That hasn't been the case. It seems like every time they do a Creation Club update, they do put out a new version of the EXE with it. So you don't want to keep getting those new EXEs if you already have one that works. Current version is perfectly stable to mod on. Good. You still don't want to update every day though, every time. You don't want to keep up to date. Not until modding catches up, and then you still wanna nail it down. It's way more work to roll back to a previous version now, and it has been for a year or more since the downgrade patchers no longer work. Okay, so the download patchers don't work anymore, but the Steam Depot stuff still does, and I don't remember that being too much of a pain. But yeah, just take a copy of your Skyrim folder, put it on a hard disk somewhere or a thumb drive, and then if you update, then just drag and drop them back over. That's not hard to do. I've been up on my soapbox telling people to do that for ages, and nobody wants to listen. I've had to do it a few times. Works great. Skyrim hasn't updated since 2023. Yeah. That shows you how closely I've been paying attention. I've been in my own 1.5.97 world here for years now. Just happily, blissfully ignorant. I'm just fucking playing Skyrim, you know? Oftentimes older versions of the mod are available for down. Oh yeah, they always are on Nexus anyway. Well, almost always. They have to really pull some strings on the Nexus's side to get the archives taken down, but you can usually find them. Well, yeah, I'm assuming that. I'm just saying that from 1.5.97 to the current version, I'm looking forward to bringing everything to current standards. Yep. Yeah, I will be too at some point. We have this great mod now called Bees. I don't remember what exactly it stands for, but it allows you to load mods that were made with the newer Creation Kit versions on your old 1.5.97 installs. That works like a charm too, so I can still get all the new mods, all the new armor sets and stuff on my older version of the game. All good. Oh, dang, Kine, really? But this is our ticket to Riften. Okay, so what happened last time with Cole here? Well, we did the dungeon crawl through Dim Hollow Crypt, I think. We found Serana. We got her to Castle Volkihar, and then we left her there. Now we got to head back to Fort Dawnguard, talk to Isron about everything that just happened. Another big thing that happened was that Zora lost her dog, Miko. Miko was killed in probably some collateral damage situation. We found his body frozen solid. With some bolts and arrows in it too. So Cole here probably, you know, either bounced a few arrows or misfired a few. But I can't take that on. I can't take it on that it was actually Cole's fault. So I'm just gonna say that we lost Miko in a fight with vampires. He was frozen to death. So it was probably frost magic that killed him, and you know, vampires love their frost magic. So Zora's been in a mood, and for most intents and purposes, Miko was also Cole's dog, and Cole being an Argonian and seeing other animals as more prey than maybe something to love and to nurture, it was not really in her nature to take on a pet, but Miko was growing on her. Anytime anybody with any kind of emotional capacity lives with another living thing, fights alongside them, and then, you know, eats and hunts and does all that stuff together, they're gonna grow an emotional attachment with each other. And that is what happened with Cole and Miko. But we lost Miko, so Cole is now maybe not quite as heartbroken as Zora is, but there is definitely a pallor over the usually jovial
where do you want to go?
Demeanor of Zora and Cole's, you know, just them going from doing their questing and being happy just being together, you know. One of their threesome has perished, and that is very, very sad.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Okay, so I do have a carriage mod that will allow me to go straight to Castle Dawnguard, but I want to take a pit stop at Riften and drop some things off at Footpad, the hideout that you can buy over there. Kai Smithfan 900, welcome guys. Hey, hey guys, welcome Kai. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Having a good weekend so far. I use EFF to make my followers immortal. Yeah, I would do the same thing, especially with the dogs, and I think I can do that in NFF, or I can just do it under the console as well, just activating the character and setting the status to essential. Game looks amazing, thanks. This is actually kind of an outdated mod list too. This is a good 4 or 5 years old at this point. But yeah, I still like it. Some lighting issues here and there that I would like to be able to address, but it's at the point now where I'm not really looking to upgrade everything. I'll piecemeal update some things here and there, but I like the Obsidian and Rudy EMBs as well. There's also a perk in the Dragonborn DLC that has it where attacks don't affect followers. Yeah, I may or may not already have that at this point. It's the Black Book. It's called Followers Intuition, something like that. Let's see here. Let's go the other way around. I think we're actually closer to, it's like Footpad Sanctum or something like that. It's the CC player home mod. It's one of the better ones from the AE upgrade. Upgrade everything, Karn. Do it. Nothing. Yeah, I know. I do these major upgrade overhauls all day, all the time at work, and it's no matter how easy the vendor says it is, it's always a huge pain in the ass that affects productivity for weeks at a time. Probably causes, you know, bugs that you don't find for, you know, months and months. So if I remember correctly, the AE pets are actually immortal, but they don't fight enemies. Wish someone would make an overhaul for the AE pets and vanilla pets. I want dogs to hold enemies in place and that kind of, yeah, kind of like dog meat from Fallout 4. We need a dog armor mod. Yeah, I would kind of like that as well. That would be cool. That is definitely something that they added to the engine for Fallout 4, because you can dress dog meat up with certain things, including armor, different collars and things like that. A vendor misleading a client? That's unheard of. Yeah, well, we're at the point where it was like we know better now, but you still want to upgrade for those new features, especially you get developers that you need to, like outsource developers that you need to contract in, and they all want to use the newer tools and stuff. So eventually you gotta upgrade your old legacy crap to new stuff, and you know what you're getting into, but it doesn't really necessarily make it any easier. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time in the crafting menus here. We're going to be focusing on gameplay more than anything. But I did just want to drop off some of the crafting materials here, get them out of my inventory, reset my encumbrance. We do have a ton of encumbrance on this character, just through like pickpocket perks and things like that. And high stamina levels that we use for like the eagle eye perks and stuff like that. Exactly like dog meat. Weaklings and the AE pets should have their own unique abilities or improvements of their current ones. Yeah, I'd be down for that. It's going to take engine upgrades, I think, because like I said, I don't think that they had the capability of doing something like that in engine until Fallout 4. That was probably a very specific upgrade they made to the engine to be able to do that. But I'm not saying it's not possible, especially with stuff like SKSE and other methods of injecting functionality into the engine through plugins and things like that. Was Hunter born with no fast travel? Did you collect so many wolf pelts, bear hearts, troll hearts? Yeah, Hunter born with no fast. Yeah, if you're just, that's kind of how that is, because if you're not fast traveling and you're just kind of cross country hoofing it on land and not taking a lot of carriages and stuff, you're gonna encounter tons of wolves and bears and trolls all the time. So that's a really good way to flesh out your stock of ingredients and things like that. Powerful ingredients too. It's just allow yourself to get waylaid by the wildlife of Skyrim and take them out, harvest their ingredients. But Hunterborn doesn't enforce no fast travel, I don't think. I don't think I've seen that in the settings anywhere. Frostfall will. You install Frostfall, which is an exposure survival mod. I don't have Frostfall installed, but that one does have a no fast travel setting on it that you can either enable or disable. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to do. We're down to 254, which is pretty good. I kind of wanted to drop off all these, you know, elven arrows, ancient Nord arrows and stuff for the trick arrows, but that's okay. They don't take any encumbrance, so we can keep playing. Okay, so Dawn Guard. Plus, being in Argonia, it's much more convenient to collect ingredients, especially the ones that are in the water. Yeah, for sure. Am I going out of my way in no fast travel and collecting ingredients? Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of random encounters and stuff that you can play off of your role play and stuff, and give your character motivation to do certain things here and there. There's a lot that you see, and I'm going to call it the overworld, the open world of Skyrim, outside of dungeons and things like that. That they put a lot of work into just fleshing out the world with, and if you're just fast traveling everywhere, you're kind of missing out on all that stuff. 6:14 p.m. Okay, so it's not super late. Let's go ahead and just hike it over to Dayspring Valley, where Fort Dawnguard is. Disabling fast travel and Frostfall just in case you weren't freezing fast enough. Yeah, indeed. Wow, what the hell is going on here? All right. So, as a pure thief, you know, Cole would probably not want anything to do with this kerfuffle, with this fiasco over here. But now that she's higher level, she's 53, so we can hold our own pretty well. We see a couple of mages fighting here, and mages usually have pretty good gear on them. Things that are expensive. Things that we can sell for lots of gold, or maybe even like uniquely enchanted items. So we're gonna just see if we can wait for them to kill each other here. That was an orc. Who is this guy? These look like bandits. Archconjurer. We got a Justiciar knife, not bad. And the rest is just kind of just rags. I thought there was another mage over here too. Over here. The bandits are kind of hit or miss with their equipment. Ooh, Harvest Blood. I do need that.
Never should have come
Ah,
here.
crap. He found me. Zora, help! Okay.
Damn you.
Come on, is that all you got?
Pray to Stentor while you can.
Well, it's hard to see at this time of day.
No
You want to
more.
finish him off?
I yield. I yield.
Wow, really?
Fall back.
That big old wind-up attack, and you still couldn't put him down? Zora, we're gonna need to upgrade your weapon, I think. An old greatsword just isn't cutting it anymore, literally. Let's see. Sell some of this stuff off. Not great. Maybe I'll take that too. I use better travel carriages and ships mod, which gives you way more options with the carriages and lets you turn off fast travel. Nice. Yeah, I have another carriage mod which was just installed via the Nulvis guide. And I don't remember what it was called, but it's pretty simple. It just adds a few more carriage stops to some places. Like I have one here at Fort Dawnguard, which I already mentioned. There's another one outside of each major city, which will get you to some other unmarked locations. Like if you go to the alternate carriage stops here, it'll give you options to go to places like Iverstead or Stonehills, or even like Rorikstead has its own carriage stop now that you can have them drop you off at. But it also gives you a carriage stop to some of these smaller towns as well, like Winterhold has a carriage stop now that you can use to get to anything. And then some of these other smaller areas that are just like inns in the middle of nowhere, like Nightgate, Helyarkin here, have carriage stops. There's one over here near White Watch Tower. Yeah, so it adds a whole bunch of those. And a lot of these coincide with Hearthfire homes as well. So like the Lake Ilanelta stop is very close to Pine Watch. I think that there's one. Yeah, there's a Helyarkin carriage stop over here is very close to the Pale homestead that you can get. And where's the other one? There's one in Morthal as well, but I think the Morthal homestead is already really close to Morthal itself, so you don't really have to worry about the carriage stop there. Helgen? Yeah, there's one for Helgen as well. Is your Winterhold rebuilt? No, Winterhold is not. I do have a mod that allows you to rebuild Helgen. Oh, crap. Look at that. Looks like some kind of critter that Kine wants us to mercilessly slaughter. And I totally missed because of the damn bush there. Scared him off. God, this foliage here is just really getting... Oh, that was a good shot. You guys see that? That fox has a tiny little hitbox on it, and I was able to lead it up and away from where it was going. Man, that was a great shot. I wonder where I actually hit it. I don't see the bolt past all these effects here. Damn, kind of proud of myself for that one. Got some favor with Kine on that one. Okay, let's wait for Zora, our bodyguard, to catch up. Unsub, doesn't like the fox getting killed. Hey, Kine told me to do it. I hate when I accidentally press the left trigger button when firing a crossbow. Yeah, and you get the bash. That happened to me once there too. I just kind of mistimed because I was going for the slow time effect right after I was trying to aim the crossbow, and I hit the left trigger too quick. Ended up with a bash instead. Nice shot, clip it. Yeah, there you go. I'll make a YouTube short out of it. Get 1 million views. And everybody will bow to my YouTube Skyrim supremacy. Going for that clout. Oh yeah, those are the bandits. I think we have taken care of them already. They're not too aggressive as long as you don't go up in their tower. They'll let you be. Man, I thought I was sneaky enough to get through that bandit encounter without having to actually fight anybody, but yeah, that archer.
I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't have time for this.
Cole says this is not our business.
And we won't have to get rough. Brother, I think she's telling the truth.
As long as they're not trying to take us to Hammerfell.
She doesn't have the scar. What?
Just like the video, I recently seen this guy trying to shoot a dragon, but overshoots the dragon and hits a tiny rabbit. Yeah, I think I saw that one too, like a while ago. That's hilarious. He was like getting all hyped because the kill cam, and then it sails past the dragon, hits the rabbit, like, yeah, way off in the distance behind it. That was hilarious. Yeah, like I said, Winterhold's not rebuilt. I'm not a huge fan of city and town overhauls, actually. The way I play this game, they don't really... They require kind of a lot of patching. They make a lot of world space edits and things like that. So... And the way that I play this game, it doesn't affect me that much. I feel like I can roleplay just as effectively with a simple town as I can with this big sprawling city. Even if lore-wise these places are supposed to be bigger, I don't feel that it affects my enjoyment of the game that much, honestly. So Winterhold being completely broken down and everything, it doesn't bother me too much. And then I don't have to have 1,000 different patches for different things that I need. For other mods that I do want, like interesting NPCs, and other stuff, like Helgen rebuilt also, it does add some world space edits that to some of the cities, especially in Falkreath. I think that if you have a city and town overhaul there, you have to either patch it or create a patch yourself, and it gets kind of dicey one way or the other regarding like what you remove from one mod and keep from another. Shot a bear in the butthole once, and a troll and a saber cat. Yeah. I had a YouTube short that I clipped from one of my live streams, and I killed a bear. It went right in his ass, like right in the butthole, and I was just going on and on about how that must be like the worst way to go, and I was just apologizing profusely to the bear. And that short got like a lot of views, and then it was like immediately demonetized. Like, I guess they got to draw their line somewhere, but shooting a cartoon bear in the butthole, that's not something that advertisers want to pay for, I guess. All right. I didn't get like any strikes on my channel or anything. I thought it was the demonetization of it was almost funnier than the clip itself. Oh crap. Cole's looking out for number one here. Got a crit strike, didn't get a sneak attack, but yeah, now we're just completely... Ah, shit. know what? I need the night vision after all. This time of day is just really hard to see.
I'm now finished.
Can't get a clear shot in. What hit me? Okay, this could screw some things up. Usually I'm good at just, you know, playing through these deaths, and I will be, but it looks like I accidentally hit Vori there, and I don't want to get too far out of the way on this Dawn Guard quest. So yeah, I'm just gonna reload that. You aren't stealthy enough. I know, weird, right? Because pretty damn stealthy. Sneak is at 120. Got a ton of perks in this shit. Even the stuff like the right behind you, Infiltrator. I got a lot of muffle going on this stuff here. I guess I could use smoke screen. I don't know. Vampires, I think the way that the detection mechanic in this game works too is that the higher the sneak skill of the NPC, the more likely they are to detect you while you're in stealth. And vampires have like some of the highest stealth ratings, I think, of especially high level vampires that you would be encountering on level 50 and up. They're just going to detect you really well. But through the Dim Hollow dungeon crawl, we actually did really well with the sneak attacks and stuff. Also, crossbows are allowed. That's a fair point. Yes, indeed. Worst weapon for stealthy characters. Yeah, I'm starting to realize that, but here's the thing. My crossbow does almost twice the damage of either one of my other my other bows. So, I mean, I guess it depends. In this case right now, everybody's already in open combat anyway, which makes it really hard to get a full sneak shot. Should be sneaking now. Oh, I didn't get detected on the way up. I got detected after I got shot. And I am donning the Nightingale boots. Sneaking is 35% better. I do have a 75% muffle effect on there. Not worth double. Well, yeah, I guess. If you can kill them in that one shot and it's not going to alert the other enemies to your position, then I think it is worth it. Otherwise, not so much. So, yeah, we will switch over to the Nightingale bow. And with Zim's immersive artifacts, the Nightingale bow does do more... not the bow of shadows. Where's the Nightingale bow at? Does do 50% sneak attack. So with the sneak shot, damage perks, and the 50% that you get from... Oh my god, I can't... They're just surrounding these people. Okay, there we go. Not detected right out. That's more how it should work. Crossbow was doing most of it.
This ends now.
Let's take that piece off the board there. You hate crossbows so hard in this game?
Not even the gods will show you mercy. You're dead.
That was a crit strike. That wasn't a sneak attack.
Well, teach you to run off.
Okay, we're providing support from the shadows here. Get that bolt off my hand. All right, Zora. Real stealth archers do not use crossbows in Sky Guy. Well, okay, so there are some advantages to crossbows, right? The damage boost on them is crazy, especially with the CC ones of the higher materials, as you can see. Also, the being able to cancel the reload with the dodge animation is helpful if you're running a TK dodge, which I know you're not. I'm losing you even farther here just mentioning TK dodge. And there is also, it does ignore armor a little bit too with the enhanced crossbows. No benefits. There are benefits. So typically, the way that if I'm gonna do sneak archery, I'll use the Nightingale crossbow. If I want to do the party starter explosion stuff, I'll use the Bow of Shadows. And then if I'm in open combat, or if I can just if the damage boost is gonna take out enemies free and clear, I'll use the crossbow there. But in open combat, I'll switch to the crossbow as well for the extra damage. I see somebody popped in. I see Silent saying howdy to somebody. I want to make sure that oh geez, what the hell am I doing here? Hey, Icarus. How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Didn't see you pop in there. It was in the heat of battle. Oh, and there's Leet from Discord. That's why I was showcasing those mods. Leet is a member of the community. I was like, why do I have this on my list of things to showcase? And I did. So yeah, you got some good little town and shack overhauls there. There is Leet. Check out his... We'll do that again now that he's here. They are actually very well done. This is right after I got done saying that city and town overhauls are not something that I put in my game too much. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, they're very well done. They're not slipshod and ramshackle like a lot of the overhauls are. It's very clean and functional. You got it, man. All right, the dragon head quiver is looking good. Yeah, that comes from the AE stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to think where that actually comes from. I think it might just be arcane archery. Might be the same mod that adds in... Let's do this. Do a quick save. I'm going to drop some of these on the ground here. Exotic arrows. Yeah, it's a CC thing that came from the full AE upgrade. Yeah, they look kind of cool.
Look at this. I should have known it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's from Anniversary Edition. I think it's the one from the Arcane Archers. I think, could be wrong. Yeah, Exotic Arrows, whatever that is. I think it is the Arcane Archer pack.
I don't suppose you have some good news for me.
Very, very strong arrows that you can find at general goods vendors. So I've just been buying them up whenever I see them. Well, not exactly.
Damn. Well, what do you know?
Vampires are looking for a woman. They were looking for a woman trapped in Dim Hollow.
A woman trapped in there? That doesn't make any sense. Who is she? More importantly, where is she?
Well, she's the daughter of a powerful vampire lord.
And so you delivered her to them?
Sure did. And they also have an Elder Scroll.
They what? You didn't stop them? You didn't secure the scroll?
Hey, listen, I'm a thief, I'm no warrior, and I'm really not a vampire hunter either. There were just too many of them and only one of me.
So they have everything they wanted, and we're left with nothing. By the divines. This couldn't get much worse. This is
you don't use smithing at all?
I can handle.
The only reason I don't temper my unique weapons and enchanted weapons and stuff is because I don't have the arcane smithing perk. Otherwise, I'd be doing that up. But yeah, if you're not doing smithing, you can actually find these available all over the place, which is why I have so many of them. So you're just going to give up? So you're just going to give up?
When did I say that? We need help. If they're bold enough to attack us here, then this may be bigger than I thought.
I like to engage in combat, not when I'm one or two shotting
There are
them. It's
people
just
I've met
not
and
fun.
worked
Okay.
with over the years. We
That's
need
fair.
their skills, their talents. If we're going
There
to
is,
survive.
for me, there's a
If you
fine
can
line
find
between
them,
engaging combat
might
and
have a
just enemies that are
chance.
overly spongy. I haven't gotten to that point with the thief yet, but it's close. Where can I find people? Okay, then where can I find these people?
Right to
Is
the
this
point, aren't
more
you?
something that the thief
Not
is
like
more
that.
suited to?
Not like those fools in the order.
Tracking people
We should
down, we
keep
can
it
do that.
small. Too many people and we'll draw.
There's
unwanted
actually a
attention
not
to
well-known
ourselves.
dialogue with
I
Isran
think
if
we'll
you go
walk
to Fort
Serene
Dawnguard with
Gerard.
Serana before
Burden
going to
girl,
Volkihar. It's pretty
smart
cool. Oh, I
with
never even
tinkering,
saw that.
Fascination with the Dwemer. Weapons. in
Because you're way
particular.
closer to Castle
Last I
Volkihar
knew,
than you
she
are
was
Fort
out of their
Dawnguard.
reach. Convinced she was about to
For
find
dual
the
dagger
biggest dwarven
use, though, I
ruins
smith up
yet.
one of them and leave the other one on unsmith for clipping purposes. Oh, clipping purposes. Interesting. So she'll help us?
Might need a little convincing, but she should. You'll also want to find Gunmar. Big brute of a Nord. Hates vampires.
Clipping
almost
purpose.
as
I'm
much
curious.
as
What
I
do you mean by that?
Got it into his head years back that his experience with animals would help. Trolls in particular, from what I hear.
Isran basically says
Last
take her
I
to
knew, he was
Volkihar
out
anyway.
scouring Skyrim
Nice.
for more
Well, I guess it
beasts
does
to
make a
tame.
certain amount of sense if you know
Bring the
she's a
two of them
vampire.
back
Instead of
here,
taking her
and we can get
directly
started
where
on
she
coming
wants
up
to
with a
go, take her
plan.
to Isran first. It does make some sense, doesn't it? Equipping purposes correction. So it something's broken about tempered daggers. Text to speech sucks sometimes with enunciation. Oh, you're one of those who hates. I mean, I hate typing on a mobile as well. That's why I usually watch streams on my. If I'm gonna chat with people, I'll watch on my computer. Keyboard, man. I don't think they're ever gonna replace that damn keyboard. Any advice for a new vampire hunter?
There's only one thing worth remembering. When it comes to vampires, if you're sloppy
Yeah, when you
or
favorite two of the
careless,
same item, it won't
you're
favorite
dead.
both of them at the same
And good
time. If that
people
makes-
will die because
gotcha.
of you.
Okay, so if you
I've
have
lasted
two
this
like
long because I
legendary
don't take
smith
chances.
daggers that
I
have the
cover
same
my
enchantment and
tracks
same
and
name
I
on them.
keep my eyes open.
Yeah,
If
no,
you're
I do know
smart,
about that from the vanilla game for
the
sure.
same.
Yep. I mostly notice it with weapons that are the same. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. So leaving one unsmithed actually does fix the issue. That is interesting. I've even actually had it when I've went to the enchanter and explicitly renamed them different things. They still have an issue in the vanilla game for sure. All right.
Watch your back.
Okay, 8:15. I think we're gonna shack up here for the night. Then we need to go find Serene Gerard. That's in the reach over here. I think maybe we'll hit up Riften. We'll ask Delvin and Vex for jobs in Markarth, and we'll do some sneaky thieving in Markarth on our way up here. Maybe even some in Solitude too. Well, we're just in Solitude. Let's do Markarth, and then we can maybe take a carriage up to Dragon Bridge up here. Actually, I think there is a carriage over here in Karthwasten as well that we could use. No, we'll do Markarth. We'll get some thief jobs for Markarth over there. And then where's Gunmar over here too? Not seeing his arrow on my map anywhere. Serene. Jesus, Gunmar might be somewhere in, God. Gunmar could be anywhere. That's the problem with running a lot of these new lands mods. He could be in Solstheim. He could be in Arnima over here in Beyond Reach. He could be in Bruma. Just any animal cave. I am not seeing a second quest marker anywhere, so that means he's not in mainland Skyrim. Oh god, that's gonna be a pain. That's gonna be a pain. Okay, so animal caves. There are some in the Beyond Reach part of the map over here, and there are some in Bruma. I don't think there are many in Solstheim, even though that's the closest one to get to over here. Does it say? Doesn't give me any indication in the journal where he actually is. How am I doing on this blood here? I need Falmer and Wood Elf bloods still. Okay. All right. So let's shack up here at Fort Dawnguard for the night, and then we'll take a carriage out to Riften. We'll pick up some jobs for Markarth, and then we'll carriage ride it over to Markarth, and we'll do some thieving jobs, and then we'll go find Serene Gerard, and then we'll try to figure out where the hell Gunmar is. Jeez, what a pain. Yeah, it's weird because sometimes renaming them works, sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. Yeah, I think it maybe the stats, the base stats are the same on them or something. I don't know. There's a mod, quests are in Skyrim, that limits Radiant quests to within Skyrim. Ooh, that's and it works for like any new lands mods or just the most popular ones. That is a good that's a good shout out there, Lee. I don't really mind it. It's just I really don't like not knowing where it is. If it's like in Solstheim, then I want to be told that it's in Solstheim. If it's in Bruma, I want to be told that it's in Bruma, so I don't waste a trip to a new land without knowing that it's there. Okay, gonna keep this open. Cool. Thanks for the shout, Leet. That's awesome. I'll be looking into that. Probably put it in my next profile. Good call. All right. Yeah, the facilities here still aren't too great. It's very dirty over here. I think we have the makeshift barracks over here, though. Probably some cots, if I'm lucky. No actual beds. Zora, you got a place you can lay down over here? Yeah, there are 2 cots over here. Agmire with his paws axe. Actually, it looks like he switched it out for a rune axe. Okay, how we doing? We're hungry, a little bit thirsty. It's gonna be hard to sleep in this drafty ass castle. So we're gonna take some skooma to take the edge off here. Eat some fish. And a little bit of cheese to go with it. Sleep for a good 10 hours, and then we'll head out to Riften. Oh! Yes, we'll take another one. 9:25. I forgot to pray to Nocturnal. I gotta do that during the day. Or during the night. 188% favor with Nocturnal. My concurrent viewers went way down. If you guys don't mind, I'd like a roll call in the chat to make sure things are still live. It says I have 2 concurrent viewers right now, which is way down from the 10 I was at when I last looked. Yeah, silence there. Elite just commented. I just want to make sure I'm still live. I actually don't give a shit if if I'm not getting a lot of viewers. I'm just, you know, here for the community, really. Leet's here, silence here. It could just be like a reporting error or whatever with YouTube's API not giving me the correct numbers. Yeah, the OBS plugin and 2 of us here. Well, at least we're live. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure the stream hasn't crashed or whatever. Okay, I think we're okay. Two of us here. Three, yeah. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I think all this talk of crossbows and TK dodge made Magus actually unsub. He's been threatening it for a while, but, you know, maybe he just couldn't take it anymore. And me on my old-ass Skyrim version with all these old mods running. He's had enough. Alright. Let's see here. Get hydrated after the skooma last night. We'll eat the sweet roll. Here we go. I'm posting a new build in Discord shortly. It's a fun twist on an arcade archer, a Dunmer worshipper of the House of Troubles. Awesome. So bad guy, dark guy, or at least using bow and fire spells. Cool. I think your Skyrim looks and seems to play very nice. Has a gritty, realistic vibe. Yeah, back when I ran the Nulvis guide, this is an old Nulvis guide from like 4 or 5 years ago. I picked certain options that I never looted the vampires. That is an interesting. Yeah, I picked the options that would make it kind of gritty and realistic and kind of rooted a little bit more than some of the high fantasy stuff. And I picked certain concessions that made it so that my performance was going to stay strong too. Like I'm getting pretty close to my monitor's refresh rate at 165, and with this display tweaks running on G-Sync, VRR and stuff like that, it's buttery smooth. It's so smooth. So I was really high. I was running a 3080 at the time, I think, and I really wanted to get as close to 60 FPS or higher when I built out this mod list, and the performance worked really well. A lot of the shadows draw distances don't go very far, so you'll see some shadows pop in during like planes travel and stuff like that, but I've never really minded that. Draw distances are a little shorter, but especially for like enemies and stuff, I've kept the draw distances really far, so you could do things like long distance sniping and stuff like that, and doing some scouting, make sure that enemies are where they're gonna be when you go to infiltrate something, scouting from a distance, things like that. So I very strategically tried to find concessions graphically that I could use that wouldn't make it look too bad, that would still make it run really, really well. That enchantment on that armor is kind of overpowered. It kicks in all the time. Is it? I kind of like that. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know the last time I've actually seen this, but this would probably work for Cole here. Living foes that stay within 20 feet for too long based on your level and their remaining health are slain instantly. That sounds ridiculous. I'm gonna play around with that for sure once I get my enchanting up to 100 and I can start freely enchanting things. Oh, I hear a dragon. Is it a visitor? He's a tourist. Because he's not attacking yet, and I have a light on and everything. I'm not sneaking. Oh shit, but the guards are actually firing at it. It's not attacking. The dragon, it's not attacking. Guards certainly don't like it being up there. You know what? If you keep firing at it, eventually you're gonna hit it, and it's gonna come down here, and then we're gonna have to kill it. If you just let it wear itself out. Okay, I think it got bored and flew away now. Yeah, that was a tourist. We got the wind and Mr. B. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. Having a good weekend so far. Think they turned to ash? Okay, so not useful for a necromancer, but I don't mind that for a thief. If it triggers on enemies in combat only, then you kind of have to become detected. I'll have to play around with it a little bit, I think. If it only works on enemies, so then it's not going to be just killing random, like, citizens and things like that, right? Should be fine. Ooh. What is... I think it's... I did hotkey my thieving set here too, that has like my pickpocket gear on it. Oh man, okay. I should have been more careful about that. It was only 82% chance to steal. But we got through it. Okay, let's chill out here. Someone else nearby is... Oh, yep, I see him way over there. Is that Shadra? That is my vendor set, I think, that I have. Oh, this one is lefty. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So this also uses the gray cowl of Nocturnal, or the gray mask of Nocturnal. So I got to make sure not to be seen by guards while I'm donning this. Okay. We got a crime scene going on here, or crime spree going on here. Someone nearby is carrying valuables. There he is. What's that? Snilf. Love the name.
And selling fine jewelry here.
Another one? Yeah, another one. Let's keep this going. So I will talk about the perks and stuff that is enabling this in just a moment. But I want to complete this crime scene, or crime spree, not crime scene. It does seem a little gamey, but it does give you gameplay options for a thief. I don't want to come out of sneak right now because of the guards and the gray cowl. This will help us go a little faster here. Ooh, we caught the attentions of one of the guards. But the potential rewards for this are greater. I gotta find this damn Mark. Where is he? Snilf is also a Chrono Cross character? That's cool. I'm sure that is... Oh, there it is. Okay, who is this? That is one of the guards. Okay. That has to be a reference, right? The Chrono Cross. Okay. Let's see, is that it? Nope, there's someone else. Someone else. Let's go check out the market over here, where most people are. That is going to give us the greatest percentage of actually finding the person who's marked. Don't see him in the main circle over here. Oh, there he is.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming
Who is this?
gemstones over here.
Another guard. Low and slow. So to all those doubters who thought that this character wasn't stealthy enough, the moment she gets seen, ooh, do not steal that one. Do I have to steal this to trigger the next one? No, okay. Yeah, if I get seen by any of these guards right now, they turn hostile, so...
Jewelry with legendary Argonian craftsmanship.
Stealth is working well. And I haven't been notified yet that there's another mark. Okay, so that's probably the end of that crime spree. Let's see if that's still active. Yeah, no, that's gone now. Okay, so back into our vendor set here. No longer public enemy number one. What? I'm not wearing the damn cowl anymore. That bug out on me? Or did I incur a bounty because I was partially detected? Oh well.
They say
Word is
Helgen was
spreading
hit
like
by a
mage
dragon.
fire. The great
One of those horrors comes here.
I'm holding
Be
it.
ready.
I wonder if they're gonna fight Zora now. There is a cooldown timer on there if you have a follower. Once the partial appears, the bounty is attached. Okay. But was it enough of a bounty to... Oh, now the guard became a nemesis, though. Snorville the Sadistic. The famed armor he wears is magically barbed and bloodied from his victims, so it probably gives us thorns damage if we kill him. Oh man, it spawned us all the way back here at Castle Dawnguard. Okay, how is my bounty looking here? Largest bounty was ever only 35. Total lifetime bounty 184. That's crazy. Huh. Don't you have an auto save? Oh no, I'm just holding it with Shadow of Skyrim now, so I can reload the save easily, right? But then I wouldn't have my nemesis, that guard that killed me. Now I can go get my revenge and get a sick ass passive for it. Yeah, I'm still running Shadow of Skyrim, and I try to honor that as much as possible. Still wish the Thieves Guild armor came with muffle. That would be nice. That would definitely be nice, but especially early on the boots, that pickpocket boost helps immensely trying to level your pickpocket up from nothing. Technically, it didn't kill you if you're still alive. True, he just knocked me out, left me for dead. Back to Riften. I don't think I have a bounty there, otherwise they would have told me. And it wasn't high enough for it to be a violent bounty. They should have just... I think what maybe happened is I switched out of my, of the gray Mask of Nocturnal, and whatever scripting it has on it just lagged just enough to where I came out of sneak too early, and they probably thought that I was still wearing the mask. Yeah, we're fine now. Yeah, no, that one I just wasn't sure about it because I did, I wanted to continue on with the Dawnguard quest line, and I wasn't sure about, because I hit Vori, I think, and incurred a bounty there. I didn't want that to get in the way of everything else, so I didn't just keep it there. I thought it was going to be too complicated, maybe too much potential for a bug. Solitude Guard, don't like the music change though. These graphics and mods are ridiculously clear. Wow, yeah, thanks. The music change? Oh no, this is not a music mod. This is background music that I just have going through a VLC.
Looking to stay alive? Why take a chance?
VLC player in OBS. What I don't like is if you aren't dead, why doesn't it spawn you at the knockout location instead of past save spot? Yeah, I mean it is game mechanics, right? So you don't want to get respawned right where you died, because then you're gonna be put in a hostile location. You're probably gonna be put in a death loop. So it tries to at least spawn you out into a safe location more times than not. And I have it set to the last place that I slept because I can almost guarantee that that's a safe spot. It didn't drop anything. I want to see where the hell that Imperial soldier is now. Now I kind of have a murder boner. Is he outside? No, he's probably in the barracks. I am hungry and thirsty. Look at that. I'm hungry and thirsty in real life too. I have to take a quick break. Why does a jug of milk count as food and not drink? That's odd. That's odd to me. We'll drink it anyway. Get sated. Sate our hunger with a jug of milk. For roleplay's sake, let's just say someone recovered the body and took it to us. Yeah, and we do have Zora here with us, so it was probably Zora. She's right there marching around the market. We told her to wait behind, and we went on that crime spree with all the pickpockets and everything. And then the guards caught us eventually and, you know, knocked us out, and Zora hauled us back to Castle Dawnguard for Isron to patch us back up.
Jewelry with legendary Argonian craftsmanship.
Bethesda owns the right. It's not copyright free. It used to be years ago, but yeah. I'm not sure. I have had copyright claims on my vanilla music. I think BGS is fine with you using their music, but then there are other companies that will repackage that media for like soundtrack box sets and stuff like that, and they will claim your ass for using that vanilla music.
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
The money they can get after Star... Man, they're making so much money off of Starfield. You can hate the game if you want, but they're making money off of that shit. You say what you want about the quality of the game, but... Well, okay, so the DLC probably undersold massively. That was not well received. It's other groups claiming BGS's soundtrack. Yeah, pretty much. And they all have like these algorithms and stuff. Did he take my... No, he didn't. It's just not hotkeyed anymore. What do I have for my hotkey on the necklace? Night Eye Amulet, that's 1, and then my health potion is 2, my stamina potion is 3. That's easy enough to remember. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here he is. doesn't look like he stole anything of mine. But I do want to kill him to get that sweet-ass passive. Okay, let's go leave Zora out. And then we'll go get our revenge. I'm also starving to death over here. I need to get a snack or something. I'm going to take a quick break. And I'll be back in just like 5 minutes or so, all right? Let me pause the game first. Load it, load it, load it. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Not taking a quick bake. I'm not one of those guys. All right, I'm back. Had a protein bar, and now I'm getting this 30 grams of protein in this Shamrock chocolate milk that I got at Costco. Good stuff. Tastes like chocolate milk, has a ton more protein in it. Protein, getting yoked. You want to get yoked, you need to get the protein. All right, let me catch up on chat here. Pooping out of his carton hole. I did that earlier. Man, it was a big one. It's good to know about the music. I've used Epidemic Sound for so long now, but it's nice to know that I get spanked if I decided to use the game audio. Some people use it and don't have a problem. Other people like me have used it and have gotten claimed. I don't know. Not that it matters for me since I don't. Yeah, I mean, if you're not making money off of it, then it doesn't really matter at all, because what happens then is they get the advertisement money from your video if you're using that copywritten music. Poop rim. Yeah, Epidemic, I think people have been using that for a long time and it's never been an issue. When the bowels say it's time, it's time. That would be a good t-shirt. F5 is our battle cry. Yeah, I remember that one. It sucks we as humans poop really humble. Yeah, you're never more vulnerable than when you're like pooping. Same with like a dog or something too. It's like they have no problem just, you know, popping a squat and then pooping out in the middle of nowhere. But whenever they do it, they have this look of vulnerability on their face. Like they're looking up at you like you're looking at, you got my back, right? Because there is no way I'm going to be able to protect you while I'm doing this. No, it's definitely us at our weakest. Yeah, most people who claim you, I mean, the copyright holders can give you a copyright strike, which is different than a copyright claim. If they give you a copyright strike and you get 3 of those, then you get banned, at least temporarily. But if they're just doing a copyright claim on you, then they are basically just taking the money that, the advertisement money that your video makes. And if you're not monetizing, then it's no harm, no foul, really. And that's what most copyright holders care about, right? They want to make the money off of the thing that they own, which is understandable. And if there's no money in it, then they just don't really care. At least that's the way I understand it. I've gotten several copyright claims, mostly just bots trying to make money off of my videos. I think they just don't want to be watched. I mean, I don't want people watching me poop. That's fair as well. They're looking to see who's judging them, especially their owners. Yeah. Like, how's my butthole look? Looking good back there? She looks back at me all saddishly weird. Yeah, it's a very vulnerable moment, even for dogs. Someone really wants to watch me poop, have at it. I mean, I kind of want to watch you poop. I'm kidding. Oh my god, I felt dirty just saying that. Never again. How is it out here still? Is it still overcast? No, actually pretty nice. Okay. All right, Zora, I'm gonna have you hang tight over here because this can get really hairy really quickly. So you go ahead, chill out right there. I'm gonna switch to the Nightingale bow with this one because it is actually silent. Now I might get partially detected by this, which will make it so I incur a bounty. So this is gonna be kind of tricky here. The passive that I'm gonna get is likely worth it, all the risk here. Yeah, see, the stealth is good. I can not detected once on that whole thing. Maybe that guard was just blind. I don't know. Only poops. There you go. I like it. I mean, I don't like it, but I like it, you know. Okay, let's get this all set up here. All right, that's heavy armor too. Can I can't take his armor. It's a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna try to get some distance here because I do have perks that increase damage with distance. Man. Whatever I have as far as archery potions, potent poison, I think is the best thing I have here. Anything of true shot? Just a regular potion of true shot, that's all I have. That's not gonna help much. All right. Man, if I were a vampire, I could just drain him. Only farts. Ambush predator is active. Yep, okay. Ooh, okay. Debuffed, removed, weight of Nirn. We didn't get any reward for that. Try it again. Was that a fork? Probably. After you, sir. I wonder what this debuff is, though. Weight of Nirn. You feel the weight of Nirn on your shoulders. Your carry weight is reduced by 75. Well, at least it's worth it to... Even if this doesn't work. It's worth it to at least get rid of that debuff. Oh, I didn't. Potion up here. Yeah, it's not giving me a reward. All right, well. I feel like this happened on this character not too long ago too, in a stream previously. I think it was in the sewers of Markarth or something, maybe. All right, there were no witnesses there, so I should just be able to peace out. Officers, you're doing a great job. Okay, back into the vendor gear in case I want to sell anything off. All right, let's head back into the Ratway. We're gonna pick up some
Buy some armor and live to tell about it.
jobs for Markarth.
Gemstones over here.
Do some actual thieving stuff. Actually, we had a really good run of pickpocketing there when we entered Riften the first time. This is still very definitely a thief character. We can bring Zora along with us now too. But look at her walk. She's shaking what her mama gave her. and what her mama gave her was a giant thick ass tail. Okay, so curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to do a who is lookup, and you'll be happy to know that watchmepoop.com is taken. Status says inactive, but taken nonetheless. What's wrong with humanity? You know, people are just people. Probably something along the lines of, you know, when we were kids, poop was funny, and then for a lot of us, you know, we just never really grew out of it. Poop is still funny forever and ever.
If you're looking for extra work, talk to Vex or Delvin. They'll fix you
How
up.
many hours have you been playing her? Well, let's see. 75 hours.
Next time. Stick to the rules and you'll end up rich.
Not bad progress for 75 hours,
I've got
I think.
merchandise. Let's see what we can do.
Poop fetish is a thing, unfortunately, and hilarious. Well, yeah. Ugh, it is. What are the German, like, Scheisen videos or something? Yeah, no thanks. This might be nice. Winter Blast freezes the ground underneath the target, dealing 12 damage for 10 seconds. This is a really nice bow. I'm gonna save my money for perks though. All right, she's got 4,000 gold. Let's sell some stuff off. All this stolen shit. Disenchant that armor of filth. I'll be using that on something at some point. Has she turned 18? Has it been 225 days already? Yeah, I think I run on a smaller or a more a less time dilated time scale. I'm running on 8, I think, time scale of 8, which is much slower than what most people run their Skyrim timescales on. So the days last longer in my games, but because of that, I feel like I need to dilate time artificially. Default is 20. I think you're right. What did you look at on the save to determine hours played? I just went to the load screen, I highlighted the save, and then it just says right underneath the character's name, race, and level, it's that that's the hours that you played. So 75 hours, 8 minutes, and 32 seconds, and then the date of the save was 4/5/25. Yeah, I think you're right. 20 is the default time scale, which is way too fast for me. Default is 20 minutes for a day. Yeah, I don't know if it's a one-to-one scale for that setting. What you do is you go into the console, or I think something else. It's probably like Campfire or something. I think it is Campfire. It has a timescale setting. Or no, it's iNeed. iNeed has a timescale setting. And that's the one that I use in the MCM. It's this one here. iNeed. Basics, and then there's a time scale. You can click this to get it to take the time scale of the setting here, and then the lowest setting possible in iNeed is 8. I actually used to play with it at 6, and I didn't have an issue. The problem is if you go too low, you start getting like AI scripting issues and stuff like that, and you might break some quests and stuff. I never had a problem at time scale 6. Definitely never ever had a problem at time scale 8. So you should be safe going down to 8. I have heard reports of it still breaking stuff at 8. I, in thousands of hours, have not had an issue with it.
Be glad to repair any
so it might be
damage
just
your guild
very,
armor.
very situational. if it is indeed a problem. Okay, let's get some jobs. So yeah, it's not the setting for 8 to 20 and stuff like that. It's not a 1-to-1, because if 20 minutes for a day is the default timescale and the default is set to 20 timescale, if you actually make that number smaller, the days last longer. So it's not like you're not just setting the minutes in a day, right? So that can be misleading.
Our guild master graces me with a visit. What can I do for you?
Otherwise, you would have to increase the time scale to get the days to last longer and the time to go slower. And that's not at all how that works. It's the opposite. Skip the grind, Vex, give me jobs. So I'm running Thieves' Night on the town, which gives you all of the jobs at once in a selected hold. So you don't have to do one at a time. In the reach, please.
Fine. Here's everything you need to know.
Thanks, Vex, and we'll do the same with Delvin. Yeah, this is a great mod. Thieves' Night on the Town, TNOT.
Always a pleasure, boss. What can I do for you?
Yeah, in the vanilla game, you have to go get a job, one job at a time. You have to go complete it. You come back, or you can, fail out of it if you want, get a new job. But it's also random what hold you get the job for. Here you can actually say, give me all the jobs in this hold, and that actually makes the Thieves Guild leadership quest trigger a lot more quickly, if that was going slow for you. But it also does give you the option,
yeah, alrighty, good
to do it the vanilla way too, which is nice if you like that pacing better. I think it's minutes to a minute, isn't it? So timescale 20 means 20 minutes of game time pass for every one real time. That's what I thought it was. Okay, that you might be right. That would definitely make sense. That would definitely make sense depending on which side of the ratio the real time is and the game time is. Making the number smaller would actually make it last longer. I'm sure there is some math along with it, and I wouldn't be shocked if that is the math that they used. Probably not just some random enumerated value that they used. All right, let's see. Let's stop by the Bee and Barb, and we'll grab some food. I think for the most part, we're okay here. We have a lot of drinks that we don't use, really. Do have some things, though. Let's just get some snacks for the road, I guess. And then we'll take the carriage ride out to the Reach. Or Markarth in particular. And we'll start doing these thieving quests while we look for Serene. And then we have a total scavenger hunt for Gunmar, because we have no idea where he is. He's either in Solstheim, Bruma, or Beyond Reach in Arnima. Over in High Rock over there. So I started to talk about the Dawn Guard and why I'm picking the Dawn Guard side of this, but I ended up getting sidetracked and not actually explaining the whole thing. So this character is going to become a vampire. We're not going to be leaning too heavily into the vampire lord form stuff, so I'm really not too into... I don't need... what's his name? Archon to turn me for a pure-blood vampire with the vampire lord and stuff. I pretty much just want the special abilities in human form and the buffs to sneak and attack damage, which will actually help with the bow and arrow as well. So that's really the main reason why I want to become a vampire with this character. It's all for pretty much just meta reasons.
Where do you want to go?
Most effective tactic available, meaning...
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
So we don't really need to go into the whole vampire lord form. We can
If you don't
change
mind a piece of
to
advice,
vampire at any
stay out of
time, and I think I'm
trouble
gonna have
with
Serrano do that after the Dawnguard questline is done.
You'll never get out.
What the Dawnguard side does give you is bolt crafting, which I really need, because with the crossbows and the dodging, canceling, the reload animation mechanic that I use for open combat, I go through bolts really quickly. And there's, with the AE full paid upgrade, there's only one vendor outside of the Dawnguard vendors that will give you bolts. And that is Feralda over in Solitude. And he doesn't carry a whole lot of them all the time. It's very hit or miss how many he's going to have and what kind he's going to have. So you basically just buy them all up and then you burn through them really quickly. Otherwise, that's really all the bolts you can find in the game until you unlock the different vendors in the Dawnguard side of things. Then you unlock bolt crafting and you unlock bolts in those particular vendors. So I want to get to those as well. I even went to the point is I kind of violated my own purity measures here, and I went to a blacksmith with honed metal and had him craft me just a ton of steel bolts. And I do have a mod that allows me to craft steel and dwarven bolts as long as I have the perks in the smithing subtree for those materials. And that kind of applies over to the honed metal as well. So if you have honed metal, the blacksmith that you're working with is most likely going to have the perk, the steel or the dwarven perk, to craft these bolts. But the Dawnguard requirement of getting to a certain point in the quest lines and unlocking these dwarven schematics for Serene to be able to unlock crafting of these things, that still applies to even the honed metal blacksmiths. So I do have another mod that makes those steel bolts and dwarven bolts available to craft right away without having to use that requirement, because there are characters that I have that are crossbow characters that need access to the crossbow stuff right away. But that does not seem to be the case for things like the iron bolts, the bolts that were added through the expanded crossbows CC mod, because I do not have iron bolts available in my smithing menu, and you should. Every character should, if that removing that requirement applies to all the CC stuff as well. So if I go over here to the blacksmith's forge, I only have arrows available here. Only arrows, no bolts, no iron bolt, which sucks. So at least getting through the Dawnguard stuff, that will unlock the iron bolts for me. But yeah, I did have to use honed metal to get them to craft me up some bolts for dragon fighting and stuff like that. Hey, there's James. Welcome, James. Hope you're doing well. So how I often limit myself with honed metal is disable dual enchanting and disable gear improving.
The Silverblood Inn has plenty of strong
yeah, that's kind of fair.
Rooms. This is the Silverblood Inn. I'll let you figure out who owns it by yourself.
I typically disable enchanting altogether, because then it gives me a reason and a way for characters and builds that have that enchanting perks, more strength for being able to choose that instead of something else. Dual enchanting is
sure thing. It's yours for a
is
day.
definitely a way to limit
Yes.
the strength of that and keep things a little bit more balanced.
Make a great soldier, just like your brother.
But even with strong single enchantments, you can get power numbers way out of whack. Oh, I never stopped at the Bee and Barb for food. Yeah, go ahead and order something, Zora.
If I can't get you
I'm
something,
going to do the same.
Let's sate that appetite.
It's like you don't have any skooma. That sucks. But I will sell you off my booze. I'll take your fish. The sweet roll.
Remember, ale is cheaper than blood.
Did you know that Breiling and Falk Firebeard had a fling going on? They most definitely do. And they're not too discreet about it. Horny bastards. And then also the who is it? Honoriel? I think she's an Altmer. She's either an Altmer or a Wood Elf. I think she's Altmer. She's the steward of the Jarl in Riften. Layla Lawgiver, I think. She has a fling going on with the House Carl. Yes, she does. Silent knows. Yeah, everybody in Skyrim's horny. They're all horny. They need to go to horny jail. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and just sleep for a few hours. We'll do we'll do 4 hours. That'll put us at 1 a.m. I'll give people time to go to bed, and then we can steal their shit while they sleep.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
I'll have some milk and a side of bread.
Yeah, the Breiling and Falk Firebeard thing, you can hear them like planning something. Falk is like, it's taxes time again. I think I need to stop by and take a look at your assets. And she's like, oh, is it that time already? Well, I appreciate, or like, I look forward to your visit or something like that. And then Sabine, the court wizard there, she's like, oh, please, you guys are so obvious. Kind of funny. So how is downloading Skyblivion going to work? Is it going to be just like a giant mod pack or like a separate game requiring Oblivion and Skyrim? It's not going to require Oblivion, but it should require you to have an install of Skyrim, but I think it launches on its own. It'll be like Enderall. It'll be like a separate launcher. But it still does need Skyrim installed on the machine for the engine and things like that. A lot of the vanilla resources and stuff. I like Sabine for some... Yeah, she's kind of, you know... I appreciate a sarcastic NPC. Somebody who's a little grumpy. It just makes them feel more real. When everybody's just always kind of like happy-go-lucky and there's no reason to, like, you know, hate them. They just feel kind of bland. But she's also kind of dark and mysterious, too. She's got definite skeletons. Alright, Zora, why don't you hold on there? Let's see. Heist job. Retrieve the ruby from the Hag's Cure in Markarth the Reach. Okay. Dark sarcasm. There you go. Condescending sarcasm. She's real. Yep, indeed. But you can also win her over, too. So once you do the, I think it's Pine Moon Cave. Where you clear out those vampires for her. She comes around on your character. Okay, let's get our thieving gear on. We gotta stay out of the way of these guards, though. Okay, everybody's asleep. Let's go ahead and put our night vision necklace on here. Looks like it's in the room on the left. Okay, typically with thief characters, I try not to entirely, you know, strip the place of everything. I just feel like for role-playing reasons, it makes more sense to target the one thing that you're going for a couple reasons. First, it delays the time that they realize that there's something missing. They may not realize that, you know, they've been hit. They may not realize that they're even missing something for, you know, days or even weeks. And by that time, you're going to be long gone and there's not going to be much suspicion on you. And at that point, they don't know when the thing went missing. So they can't like cross-reference that with the time when you were actually in their shop or in town. You know, if they're like corroborating reports of people seeing you in town at that point in time when that thing went missing. You just don't know because you don't know when it happened. Also, if it's just certain things and not every valuable in the place has been swept out, then they may not even suspect theft at all, right? They may just chalk it up to something that they lost, that something's just missing, like it fell under a rug or fell through the cracks in the floor or something. So I feel like if you're really role-playing a thief, it makes sense to not go hog wild and just steal everything that they own all the time. Plant the stolen flawless emerald in Ogman's house in Markarth. Okay, so he's around this corner over here. Trying to avoid guards. Try to stay in the shadows. God, this vigilant down here is going to come walking right up to us, even if he detects us or not. So we're going to try to avoid him and just go up the stairs. All right, where is this a guard over here? This looks like a guard. Where is he going? All right, let's follow his path. At some point, he's going to double back and come back around, but... Oh, just like that. I freaking knew it. Okay. He's got a torch, too, so he's going to be able to more easily see us if we get too close. So... change up strategies here. Now, Ogmund is the Skald. He performs at the Silverblood Inn. So he may not even be at home right now. No, he's at home. He's definitely sleeping. Keeps surprisingly regular hours for a bard. All right, where is this stolen emerald? There we go. Frame job complete. Ogmund just gets his cheeks clapped in this game. You can rat him out, and I always get his house via RNGs to rob, steal, or pickpocket him personally. Yeah, he does show up a lot in that RNG, doesn't he? All right. What's the next one here? The sweep job. Clear treasury house in Markarth, the reach of valuables. Okay, so this is a Robin Hood situation right here. The Silverblood Treasury House does have a lot of wealth in it, as does that family, and they are not shy about how they get it. You coming this way? Jesus. All right. Oh, somebody saw me. Somebody's looking. Are they chasing me? No, okay, we're good. Okay, there's one of them.
Riata, did you clean the tables today? They're filthy.
I'm sorry, Bertrude. I'll clean them right away.
Wow, this poor girl has to work 24/7 at this damn treasury house, doesn't she?
I thought I had cleaned the tables properly.
Don't stop apologizing. It makes you look like an idiot. Learn to talk back.
Damn,
to the girl.
Silverbloods
Why, when I was in the temple,
run a tight ship over here. Jeez.
You were one of Debella's faithful?
I misspoke. Never mind what I said. Get back to work.
She does not want people to know that she was skanking it in the Debellin Temple. Where are you going? What are you doing? All right, well, she saw me, but she doesn't care.
You have worked here in the Treasury House for a long time, haven't you, Ildeen?
Yes, child. Nana Ildeen has taken care of the Silverbloods for many years.
Oh my god, she sounds crazy.
Aren't you
Ireshot, hey, welcome, welcome.
worried about the Force-Stone?
Hope you're having a good start to your
It's not
weekend.
safe here.
Don't you worry, Rihanna.
Hope you are doing well
If anyone
otherwise.
come knocking on our door, Nana will let you know.
Thanks, Nana. I feel better now.
Here's one of them. All right, I think there's still one more, huh? Thongvor over here. Way more absorbed in his bread and cheese than thinking that a thief could possibly be stealing any of his stuff. All right, okay, we're good. Okay, now coming back out here is going to be a little touch and go. We are wearing the gray cowl, so if a guard sees us, they're going to attack us on sight. That actually did kill us back in Riften. So let's try to get out of the way, out of the light. Ooh, hiccup. Out of the light here. All right, what's next? Burglary job. Retrieve the jeweled candlestick from the smelter overseer's house in Markarth. I always, speaking of, Augment getting the short end of the RNG stick, robbing his stuff. The overseer's house always gets hit for me. Like every single time I get Markarth jobs, the overseer's house gets hit. And that's just good karma, I think. Or bad karma for him, good karma for everybody else. Because that guy is kind of an asshole. Anybody deserves it. He is also an orc and can probably break us in half if he caught us. So let's not get caught. It is fairly late. So I don't think he's going to be home. Okay, I need to go back up that way. Still got to be on the lookout. The coppers in this game are tough. Yeah, see? The coppers, see? They'll never catch me, see? That's an old-timey criminal. Mobster. If you couldn't tell. I mean, I think the voice was right on. It was like perfect, but sometimes you just don't know. Dare I? Yes, I do. I'm gonna take his key too. We can't even lock the place up when he's gone. And I'm gonna take his tomato. I'll let him have his iron mace though, just because that's too heavy and non-valuable for me to even consider picking up. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. I got an idea. There we go. Now he's gonna stub his toe on the iron mace when he gets up in the morning and gets up to, he doesn't have his tomato that he was gonna eat for breakfast. So he's gonna come out to his kitchen. He's gonna be all groggy and hungry. He's gonna open the door and then he's gonna just step right on that mace. It's gonna be a bad morning for him. That old style radio host broadcasting voice. Yeah. It's a classic, man. Good stuff. Okay. So mischief managed there. The numbers job is easy. Man, why do you why you gotta do his toes like that? Yep. Let's see. Well, he kind of deserves it. Let's see. And then Senna's gold earrings from Senna and Markarth. Okay, I could probably take care of the numbers job during regular business hours, but for a thief, these are regular business hours, right? And it may be easier just to go ahead and do this while they're all sleeping anyway. Okay. Don't want to spend too much time in the light. Woo! Who was that coming out of that store? Are doing some toe tickling? Yes, indeed, and always. Just ask my wife, she loves it. Actually, she hates it, and that's why I do it. Okay. Numbers job is complete. And we got one more. This one is in the Temple of Dibella. Senna is, I think she's actually a potential marriage partner. Probably a pretty good potential marriage partner too. Knowing what we all know about, you know, Dibella worshippers. That'd be a good time. Okay. Follow the path. Get out of the light. We almost got detected last time we were up there. Let's see. Get out of the open court. That Timba chick, the lumberjack lady, she's an outright female dog. Oh yeah? When you marry her? Is she all about it? I guess she does have all that anger that has to be released some way. She's either going to beat the crap out of that wood elf she has working for her, or she's going to do something else. Probably better for everybody if she does something else. Oh, female dog. I see, I see. I did not know that. So she carries on her delightful demeanor even after you tie the knot with her?
They can't be disturbed. You'll have to come back another time.
At that point, you kind of knew what you were getting into, though, right? You would think. She wears her heart right on her sleeve there for everybody to see. I kind of want to do it now, though. That sounds kind of funny. Gives her personality. Yeah. There you go. Just like we were talking about Sabine. Although I like Sabine a little bit better. She's not just an asshole, right? She's dark and mysterious as well. She's got some weird AI going on too. I think Camel did a video on her where he was investigating, you know, what the hell was going on with... Okay, I'm gonna duck into this Shrine of Talos here. I'm gonna switch out of the Great Cowl and hopefully... Oh, there's Enman down there. Okay, Great Cowl is off. In fact, I'm gonna, just to make sure. And let's make sure I don't have a bounty. No, nothing new. All the same numbers as before. Here's the thing, though. I don't think that the Grey Cowl actually gives you a bounty. I think it just makes it so that the guards attack on sight. I think it uses the same kind of mechanic hook that being a vampire, completely unfed vampire, does. Okay, no, this guy's good too. All right, so I think it was just a little bit of script delay in Riften that caused that to happen. Whatevs. Too bad you can't marry her. Once you do the quests for the Wolf Skull Caves, she sleeps forever. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Kinda suggests that she had some kind of connection to Potema and the Summoners. Even if it's not completely clear what that connection is, there is technically an actual connection between her and that quest. It is weird. It is definitely weird, and I think that just adds a little bit of mystery to the whole thing. All right, Zora, let's get out of here. We could spend the rest of the time here, but I would rather avoid suspicion. She doesn't, well, okay, she does, her AI stays in bed forever, right? But you can wake her up to do business with her and stuff, so it's not like she's just perpetually sleeping. Though if you never talk to her, she probably would just sleep the whole time. Almost like a vampire hibernation thing, a lot like what Serana did. The hell, Zora? He's scaring the crap out of me. All right. So, let's see, what's next? We need to go find Serene. We got some sleep, so we're not super tired, even though it is at an ungodly hour here. New order. Go find Serene. I don't think that there's an inn over here in Karthwasten, but there is a carriage stop that will unlock on the map. And there are some quests and stuff that we could do at some point, but I think I'll probably skip that for now because it's not going to result in immediate profit for Cole here. It's a nice night anyway, though. The sky is really clear. Masser is shining bright on everybody. Lots of stars in the sky. Look at that. Beautiful. So we're just gonna walk. We'll walk over to Karthwasten. And maybe we'll chill out there while the sun comes up. But we do definitely need to find Serene, and then we need to start trying to get a bead on where Gunmar ended up. What do y'all think? Where is Gunmar, you think? Beyond Reach, Bruma, or Solstheim? I'm thinking Beyond Reach, because there are a couple of bear caves in Beyond Reach. I think there are a couple in Bruma too, but I think there are more in Beyond Reach. Arnima, I guess. Evermore. I think Arnima is like the hold, and Evermore is the city, the kingdom. I don't know. Could be the other way around. Haven't spent a whole lot of time over there. All right, we're gonna, okay, yeah, we're gonna run into some Forsworn here. Zora, I want you to be as quiet as possible. Shoot. You're gonna get us detected, aren't you? Well, maybe not, let's see. Oh, no, they're already fighting with someone else. Well, we could take this opportunity. Easy does it, Zora. I know you're insisting on holding that torch. But I think we got through it. Jeez, Zora. Man, you really lucked out there. That mine, Kolskegger mine there, is actually a literal gold mine. So if you're looking for materials to use to beef up your smithing skill, or to, you know, just make some quick spending cash or something, that's a good place to do it, as long as you don't mind fighting off a bunch of Forsworn to get there. I think the Nern route there was underneath the bridge. So what all do you folks have going on this weekend? Hosting a game night with some friends tonight. Some work friends. So I got some stuff I got to get ready after this. I got to clean off my patio, my back patio, just in case, you know, gets too crowded in the house. People want to get some air. Got a nice little patio area. It's just dusty from all the weather we had this week. I got to wipe some of that stuff down. Got to get some of the furniture ready. I got to clean my ass. But that shouldn't take me too long. Got to go get some pizza too, I think. Nothing much, just heading home. Okay, were you coming from work, or are you doing something more fun? James. I just married Sapphire. I was honestly surprised when the dialogue came up, which is why I didn't. I didn't think she was married. I didn't either. Maybe I have a mod that opened that up. Yeah, maybe. I didn't think Sapphire was marryable. Maybe she is. She's one of the more attractive NPCs too, I think. She's got a lot of trauma though. Poor girl. Holiday? Nice, okay. So you're looking forward to getting home, or you feel like your holiday was too short? And where did you go? I'm just gonna keep rapid firing questions at you.
I want you sellswords out of my mind.
Watch your tongue, native. We'll leave when we're sure there's no Forsworn here.
Oh,
I don't want to
when
get
would that
involved
be,
in
I
any of
wonder?
this.
When I sell my land to the Silverbloods?
Oh boy. I'm taking the long way around, aren't I? Shoot. I think it's going to be quicker. We're in Argonian. Why don't we just swim our way over here? There's waterfalls over here, but this will at least get us to, you know, this inlet over here where we can use that to hop up and then take the rest. Yeah, we're in Argonian. Let's freaking use it. Zora, sorry about that, but
I suggest you take it.
I don't think you can swim as good as we can. Been 2 weeks skiing in the French Alps. That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, after 2 weeks, though, I'd be looking forward to sleeping in my own bed.
We have rabbits again. I'm getting sick of rabbits. You'd rather be plowing a field? Not me. Hope I don't draw guards.
Swim faster than sprinting. I use water travel all the time as an Argonian. Yeah, I would just wish there were more waterways. There aren't many that you can actually take advantage of. Skyrim's more mountainous than it is. You know, it has a lot of water features, but you can make use of it. Even over here in Morthal, it's like not deep enough to even swim in. Through most of it. Forgetting we're in Argonian. Use what the Hist gave us, man. Yeah, dude. Now we're cooking with gas. You got these little fjords and everything here too that you have to navigate, but whatever. Yeah, this is the other thing with the Skyrim rivers, is they're just not that deep. That ghost just... Oh, that is a kind ghost, I think. We got a damn slaughterfish over here too. We can usually outrun the slaughterfish without too much of an issue. I think that was a kind target. No, I don't think so. Where'd that slaughterfish go? Interesting. I saw it glowing a little bit. I think it's just one of the underwater effects. All right, where are we here? Something's seeing us, but... Oh, there's a slaughterfish. Okay, I think this is going to put us on the right path now, I think. I hope. How we doing? We're good. All right, perfect. Oh, we got a dragon. Oh, he's real close to the ground here, too. I don't think this one's a tourist. I would rather not take him in a pitched battle like this right now. Our offensive output with the crossbow is not actually bad for dragons. The defense, the elemental defense is, however. I don't have a lot of elemental defense with this character right now. So those dragon breath attacks are going to really hurt if I get hit. So I really have to leverage TK dodge as much as possible when fighting dragons like this. Maybe that was just a tourist. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. He hasn't been attacking anything. There should be like Forsworn and bears and stuff over here that the dragon would normally attack if they were going to. Might be a blood dragon too, based on the fins on his tail. Alright, crabs, so we should be getting close to Serene here. Tree is leaning. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's propped up on the cliff over there. Man. Suck if that came down on somebody's house. Serene doesn't seem too bothered by this dragon. How's visibility here? Ooh, not great. Okay, so Night Eye stays on. Okay, let's switch over to the combat gear. Just in case. Still hear him. He's still around, but alright. Serene?
You haven't seen a sack full of dwarven gyros lying around, have you? I swear I left it right here. Do you think mud crabs might have taken it?
I actually love the fact that you have to use Night Eye at night, especially when there's no night pollution. Yeah.
Just look around, will you?
Oh, no, that wasn't a tourist. Serene, you gonna help me out here? Let's see. I do have Dragon Rend. Look at that. It is a blood dragon. I was right. Woo. Okay, that didn't hit too hard. Get in there, Zora. Tank for me. Oh my god. Just threw her all the way up in the air. You okay, Zora? Oh, she's okay. Look at that. Man, we barely did a dent to this dragon at all. Oh, Zora's out.
Do your worst.
Oh! Oh, he's getting bloodied though. That's good. Looks like we have some Forsworn or something on the other side of the river firing at this guy. It does look like a Forsworn encampment over there. That is good. Where is he? Oh boy, I don't know where this guy's gonna end up. I gotta get on the other side of the tent here. Coming at me. Get in there, Zora. You got this.
Is that all you've got?
Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Missed that one. Okay, we almost got him down to half health here. Let's go ahead and hit Dragon Rend on this just to keep him on the ground for a while this time. Be careful not to hit Zora. She could actually be totally killed if we end up hitting her at this low health. Okay, I think he's down for the count now. We just need to keep the pressure on. They keep shooting him in the ass. Right in the taint. Dragon Taint would be an awesome name for a metal band. There we go.
It may be dead now, but
Whew.
where did it come from?
I gotta say, that was pretty masterfully done. I'm pretty happy about that performance. Zora, that was a gutsy performance by you as well. Now on stage, Dragon Taint. Yes. The band you all came to see. You gave your paychecks to a scalper for Dragon Taint. Hey, welcome Nigoroshi, by the way. I mean, unfortunately, I was just about to end the stream here too. We'll talk to Serene here. We'll see if we can convince her to go back without the gyros or the euros, if you're hungry.
No, you must
like
be
me.
mistaken. You made it exceedingly clear the last time we spoke that you had no interest in my help.
I have a feeling that a
I find it hard to
gyro sack,
believe he's
regardless of
changed
the
his
interpretation,
mind.
would not have
Said
survived
very
this long.
hurtful things to me
Probably not.
before I left.
Do dragons
Anyway,
have taints
I'm quite
though?
happy in my current pursuits.
Well,
So
I
if
don't
you'll
know.
excuse
If they
me-
don't have genitals, then they're pretty much all taint, technically. Right? Is that how that works? I don't know. We'll call a doctor and ask him. An anatomy expert. Vampires threaten all of Skyrim and we need your help.
Vampires? Really?
I recommend
suppose
using the
now he
Atronach
remembers
Forge
that I
to
proposed
create
no less than
salts.
3 different
Oh, okay.
scenarios
You need
that
a common
involve
gem, a
vampires
salt
overrunning the
pile, and a
population.
specific gem. That will help for trick
Well,
arrows.
What
for
are
sure.
they up to?
Common gem. Does it have to be a filled common gem, or can it be just an empty common gem? Salt pile, and then probably either a ruby or a sapphire for frost salts.
They say the best mead is made.
That's actually something I never
They
would have
grind taints with each other for mating purposes. Sounds kind of hot.
I'm not sure what they
Especially
would
for an
do.
Argonian.
In this case, Isran is probably
In the 69,
correct
so they do it
thinking isn't
inverted.
good.
Okay.
All right. If nothing else, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to learn more about
Dragons are
what's
like
going on, so I
chickens.
can
One
better
hole for
defend
poop,
myself.
pee, and birth.
But
Good
I'm
to
not
know.
just going to
Fun
abandon
fact
what
from
I've
your
been
boy
working
Nobody.
on. It's too useful. I need at least one intact dwarven gyro. So either I need to find the satchel those mudcrabs stole, or I need another gyro from someplace. You wouldn't happen to have one,
Okay,
would you?
Serene. We're talking about an existential threat of vampires with an Elder Scrolls. Is that really less important than your single dwarven gyro here?
Fine, fine. I can't afford to forget about this work, though. Some very interesting applications.
Look, once we get on top of stuff, you can send me
Where
out
is
to
it I'm
find
supposed to be
a
going?
gyro for you. But let's get this started first, all right? We're meeting at Fort Dawnguard.
Ah, been working more on his secret hideout, has he? It'll be interesting to see how much progress he's made. I'll finish up here and head in that direction as soon as
It's absolutely hilariously
See you there.
disgusting. All right, let's see here. Let's get this quick light on. Let's take this off. Oh, it's still really dark. We do have a campfire over here, though. And we do have some annoying campers to contend with. All right, guys, that does it for me. I got to get ready for this game night here that we're hosting. Oh, big stretch. Man, I'm tired. Maybe get a little nap in there, too. Thanks for joining me. Missed you guys last week, but it was fun to get back and catch up with you guys this week. The Pure Mage Ordinator build guide is coming out very soon. I'm actually almost done with that. I made a lot of really good progress on that this week. And I've actually made some pretty good gains in the production value of these build guides too, which I'm really looking forward to showing off. I hope you guys like it. So look forward to that in the next week or two, I think. Other than that, I don't think I have anything new to share. Join the Discord if you want to continue like these build discussions and things like that. There are a bunch of us over there already having all kinds of conversations throughout the week. So, you know, if you miss us throughout the week between Saturdays, you can get more of us in the Discord, you know. What stream plans do you have in the future with a new mod list coming out? Anything brewing in the brain? Not a whole lot of. It's not going to be a major overhaul. It's just going to be things like I have immersive equipment displays instead of all good. So we're going to get some physics on some of the equipment that is shown on like the sheaths and stuff like that. Those will be bound. God, that she will not shut up, and she's so annoying. And her voice is carrying. Look at this. Yeah, so that's another big one. Less patching for EID instead of all good as well. And then there's a bunch of mods that Nulvis had me install that I don't ever use, so I'm going to take those out to make room for more. And then just a bunch of weapon and armor mods that I'm adding in, just to kind of expand on the character creation and getting the character to look in a certain way. Also, like, playing a certain way, but also getting the character to look like how he plays, you know? I think that goes a long way for making a good character concept. So that's the stuff I'll be working on. I'll be sharing screenshots and details and stuff in the Discord. And the first two characters that I'll be doing with that new mod list is going to be the Triumvirate Warlock and the Vampire, the Sacrosanct Vampire. But also, I think I'm going to add in the Wukong Staff Monk build into that mix as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I feel you on the look part. Your character has to look good, so you play it good mentally. That is style. Yeah, and that's what ultimately is going to get you more invested in your character. If he looks closer to how you have him looking in your mind, then you're going to spend more time with the character. You're going to evolve the gameplay more. So it's not just that aesthetics. It's not just the way it looks. It actually affects a lot of different things, including the way you feel about your character. So that is important.
Side of it again.
Have a great night, great weekend. Yeah, everybody, you take care. Take a look in the links in the description below. The Discord I already mentioned, but there are also a lot of great content creators down there too. A lot of the usual suspects that you see in chat are going to show up in those streams throughout the week. So, you know, if you like us, come hang out. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys on Discord or otherwise probably streaming next week. All right, you guys take care, and I will see you then.